Strata. What's going on here? No, I've already messed up. Bear with me here. That's Argent Strata there, so why is that? I think I've got the wrong map. I do have the wrong map set. Ha! Boom. There we go. I knew those things were off. Okay, so we got 3 to 23 wind, 10 tidal, 2 geos, 2845 metal reclaim, and 57,000 energy reclaim. So without further ado, I'm going to load the game up so you can't see how many games are actually played. And we will jump across into the first match. Stream scuff? What's up, Tempest? It's been a hot minute, yeah. Is the stream just straight up not working, or is it just that little hiccup I had? Hopefully the stream is working for you. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, it was my hiccup, thank God. Whew.
Happiness is precious, simply because it is fleeting.
Exactly, VDB. So, we have BPL Game 1 here. They're good luck having fun each other. Absolutely amazing. And we have Randy, the 59 OS Brit, as the Armada Commander on the bottom right-hand corner, starting on the plateau, of course. I don't have too much experience on this map. I do know that this map here, you can actually come across this way. But this map here, it is fully blocked off on both sides. And the mexes here can be attacked from the high ground, but I don't think this one can, or something like that. There's a few inconsistencies on this map that I don't like, but that is neither here nor there. We do have 13.8 wind, so Randy will be opening up with pure wind. He's kind of overbuilding energy, which makes me believe he's going to be going straight into a res bot. And yes, he is going to be going into a res bot, getting a couple ticks out just to scout first. And his opponent, Glados, is going to be the Cortex commander on the blue side of the map. Also opening up as a res bot. Struggling a little bit more with energy, but he is going to be able to get that res bot out a little bit quicker, considering he doesn't have to build the ticks first. We see these ticks starting to come across the map now. First res bot comes out. Does get stuck on the commander, losing valuable seconds, doing a little bit of a moonwalk. And he's going to be going straight for these metal deposits on these crystals here. Not worrying about these crystals, interestingly enough. The ticks do come out. Still not quite across the map yet. You can see that Randy at the same time is doing the same tactic. Getting all these crystals close to the base. Ooh, 5 cons coming out for Randy. Interesting opener here. Does have a single solar down. That should be getting reclaimed very quickly. Man, 5 cons into 5 Centurions is ballsy. Now this tick does spot the first grunt coming out of the lab. So he knows that it's a Cortex lab. And he knows that Glados is not being overly aggressive right now. Slowly moving this tick back further and further as Glados moves out. Randy is going very greedy indeed. Single con turret coming out for Glados. He already has a single con out and a commander. So now he's just going to be grunt pumping. I was going to say pump grunting. You can say he's pump grunting. The single con and commander expanding. Another con coming out now. He's still got a fair amount of metal in the bank. And yeah, he's pretty good. He knows that Randy's obviously Armada bots. Randy doing the same tactic, expanding with a constructor, expanding with the commander, getting a radar up nice and early. Let's see the coverage. Not amazing coverage, but better than nothing this early in the game. Both players going for identical radars there. Alright, all the combots are out for Randy. He's got no metal left. He's building his first Centurion now. He's going to have 2 cons building wind, and the third con is going to indeed be expanding. Not sure about this. I mean, he's going to be overflowing energy if he's building this much energy. And trying to build Centurions at the same time. I feel like he's spending too much metal on energy production. He could definitely reclaim the solar now because he's about to start overflowing, but that's not my place to say. First Centurion coming out is going to be very good at defending against these grunts. But as the grunt numbers increase, those Centurion numbers really need to increase rapidly. which I don't think they're really going to be able to do. Okay, maybe he didn't overbuild energy. The wind decided to die. He didn't reclaim the solar, so I would have been completely wrong there, considering he is actually floating metal now. So that really does show that I don't know fuck all. I mean, he did spend a lot of energy on a converter. He's dropping a solar to spend that metal, get that energy back. 3 wind is absolutely trolly. Commander does get spotted by those grunts over here. And the Centurion will be spotted by these grunts here. So Glados more than happy just to contain for now. He's trying to slip a grunt by, but that is easily going to get cleaned up by the Centurion. Does notice it, falls back. And now it's double cons expanding this direction. Nice radar placement here from Randy. Should give us good coverage of the center of the map. And Glados is really trying to scratch his head and think what to do. He does go into thugs. He is also 2 cons expanding his energy production. He has an energy storage. He's got the con turret in his base still, and the res bot is just making its way along the map. Single LLT in the middle of the base. Commander expanding, getting a lot of LLTs here for the commander. Single grunt does slip by, picks up a metal extractor. Looks like he's going to be getting at least 1 more. And then the Centurion should be clearing this grunt up, no problems at all. Is he going to get the... Yeah, he does get the mechs. And does just get out of range of that Centurion. So the Resbot easily going to be able to revive these. Not too much of a problem for Randy, but he is going to lose at least 1 more metal extractor. Maybe the radar if he's unlucky. Commander has obviously been spotted. Centurion's doing work, slowly clearing these grunts up. Radar comes up, gives him great coverage. Still overflowing energy. Still hasn't reclaimed the solars, but that's okay. Maybe reclaim them, drop some E-store. 2 con turrets are up for Randy by now. Meanwhile over here we have 2 con turrets up for Glados. Glados going into an energy storage himself, so he's got 2 energy storages now. Glados playing this really, really well. I think that's just so many LLTs. Very unnecessary. But maybe it is necessary, who knows? Oh yeah, look, the Centurion going straight for those LLTs. Now the thugs are making their way towards the center of the map. There's not an overwhelming amount of thugs. There's a little bit of metal in the bank, but Glados is kind of spending it. Radar comes up for Glados, and he can actually get vision of this high ground over here, just the little edge of it. Single grunt over here, just to absolutely annoy Randy's commander, is going to clear up that metal extractor. Metal produced, Glados is ever so slightly ahead. Resbot here. Centurion clearing up grunts. Let's check back in on the base. Another solar has gone down for Randy. I'll probably afford 1 more con turret, I'm not sure. He is spending pretty much all of his metal now though. Now this Centurion does clear up a thug. 2 resbots out, but 1 does go down for Glados. There is another resbot here roaming around. It might be the original one actually. Now this is 4 Centurions pushing for Randy. That is kind of scary for Glados. He does have a fair amount of thugs coming out, but it's probably not enough for 4 Centurions just yet, especially if he doesn't have the commander to repair. He does have respots to repair these thugs, but it is going to take significantly more micro than having the commander. This Centurion does go down, but the LLTs and grunts will be more than enough. Sorry, LLTs and pawns will be more than enough to drive these thugs off. Respots coming out to try and do their worst. Structor goes down. Randy really collapsing in on Glados here. Thugs going in 1 by 1. They do have the high ground though. Alright, these pawns going to be going for the wraparound technique. These LLTs lined up in such a way that only 1 can shoot at a time. Very, very poor layout there for Glados. Doesn't even lose 1 though, which is fucking about as good as it could get for him. He does have a missing metal extractor here, but he's probably stressing out. 4 rear spots here going to be reviving everything, and that's going to give them those thugs back that they just lost. Randy has pushed, so they are fairly even. Commanders in exactly identical locations right now. These pawns all making their way over to where the commander is. There is not enough to snipe him just yet, but he is making his way back to this LLT forest just to be sure, just to be certain. Thugs versus Centurions in the center of the map. There is a resbot here. The resbot does dip out of danger just as he gets into it. We have an air transition out of Randy and a vehicle transition at the same time. A lot of metal in the bank, a lot of energy, so he's fine to do whatever he decides to do here. Does have an AFK con for now. At the same time, Glados is just getting some more res bots out. No air transition, no vehicle transition, but no metal in the bank, whereas Randy's sitting at almost 1,000 there. He is going to go for Banshees and medium tanks at the same time. Very energy and very energy expensive, but that's not the word I'm looking for. Very energy intensive. I knew it was an I word. Very energy intensive, building medium tanks, pawns, and Banshees all at once. Bar is getting a publisher, Hooded Horse. Oh, it's confirmed? I heard the rumors ages ago, but I didn't know if it was confirmed or not. So is it confirmed now? That's good. Bar probably needs a publisher. Be nice for it to finally get a Steam release or an actual roadmap. Yeah, sick. Sick. That's cool. Yo. 5 cons out on the map. We got more wind coming up for Glados up here. Still no air transition. We got another con coming out. Probably going to be dropping down more build power. He does actually have a lot of build power here and no metal, interestingly enough. Randy just has far superior versatility right now, but a little bit lacking on the army value. Where the army value is lacking, he does have Banshees though, and Banshees are very good at killing things like thugs. Thugs and grunts. There's the air transition out of Glados if you can't see it on the minimap. He does go for the air transition, gets a couple of anti-air bots. Luckily for him, this is not a bombing run and it's just Banshees, but it is really going to turn the tide. You can see that army value difference really starting to head into favor for Randy right now. He is going to absolutely clear everything in the middle of the map here. We do have a revived Centurion on very low health. But yeah, that's very nice for Randy. He has a single res bot here. Does he get more out? He doesn't have more. He has reclaimed the bot lab as well. So even though Randy took that battle and easily, you know, got the value he needed for those Banshees, he can't really do a whole lot with it. And Glados is already here with the res bots ready to revive. Now Randy's going to reclaim because it's a lot faster than reviving. That's going to give him a lot of metal. And Randy's actually going to go for the base now. There is fighters here. How many fighters does Randy have? Randy went for no fighters, and he actually got anti-air here. It was a very weird choice for Randy, but he knows what he's doing better than I do. The fighters do come out, so we'll see how many wins these Banshees manage to clear. Not a lot, really. We're up to, what, 6, 7? That'll give us 8. That's 9. They could just hit one of these converters and clear more, but yeah, all the Banshees go down. I don't know, I think that was a bit of a throw for Randy. A bombing run would have been way better there, or to use the Banshees to try and clear some of these mixes at the back. I'm not sure. Maybe try and just keep fighting, clear out the res bots, but it looks like Glados is going to get most of the reclaim here. You see that Randy actually has this area and this area, so Glados has significantly less income. He has produced a whopping 3,000 metal less. And now he's going to be fighting vehicles with thugs. Now he doesn't have to worry about the Banshees anymore. He could get shurikens, but there are fighters coming up for both players, so it's probably not worth getting shurikens just yet. I'm not sure. I just feel like shurikens are always worth it. Alright, Glados feeling confident in his position. He is going to push in some of those res bots taking shots for the thugs. I'd probably be trying to repair the thugs. There we go. He does drop the repair on the thugs. And he's going to gain control of this reclaim field by the looksies of it. So even though he's down on metal produced, he is probably going to get a lot of metal here. There is 2.7k metal on the ground, and he is currently 5,000 metal behind. So he's a very significant amount of metal behind. Randy obviously got the air cons, getting this metal extractor and some anti-air up there to protect it. Glados does get the Geo starting to go down. Commander's little AFK could be assisting with the Geo. Randy not going for the Geo, but Glados going for the revive on the units here. He is losing a little bit of units here, but he currently does have the army value advantage. In his base, he's obviously just building thugs and fighters for now. He's rebuilding some wins as and when he needs them. Once this Geo pops, he should have a lot of energy. And he's just reviving units, so he's already got a lot of energy. He's just spending it on reviving. We do have a Janus / medium tank transition out of Randy. He's stopped building fighters, adding on more build power so he can start spending that metal that he's got, that extra metal. And Glados is now down 6k, so it has increased by an extra 1,000, but you do have to take into account that 2,000 metal used from reviving units. maybe Glados is going to go for a commander snipe, or at least attempt to. Maybe pressure the commander or something. There's a fair amount of Janus out on the map. Now, these Janus could be devastating to Glados' army. Lucky for him, he's got thugs, which are very good against LLTs and Janus. But you do need a lot of numbers, and he is kind of sending them in one by one. Randy is kind of skedaddling out of there. And this battle is going quite nice. Doesn't want to lose all these res bots. That is the one advantage that Glados has by just going bots at the moment. We do have a forward vehicle lab building pounders now. Those pounders are really going to help with this, you know, plasma battle. There's a heavy transport for Randy. Does Glados see that? I think he's going to snipe the heavy transport by accident. He saw it, but I don't know if he saw it, you know? There's a lot of AA here to protect that heavy transport. Yeah, he's definitely seen it. And now the commander can't really get picked up by that heavy transport. Glados knows where the commander is now. I don't know what he's planning to do with that information. Randy does have map control, but he is slowly losing. If he loses this reclaim field, it is going to be very bad for him. Luckily for him, Glados doesn't have the army value anymore. It is in favor of Randy. So Randy taking control of this reclaim field might be that last little oomph that Randy needs to win, but as it stands, he's not out of the woods yet. These Janus doing absolute lord's work right now. They got 15 kills between them, and they are just using their stun mechanic to really work on those thugs. But Glados absolutely inting all of his units just straight into this Janus stout ball. Probably not advised, but at the same time, he's actually reclaiming behind it. Is he going T2 or something? No, he's just reclaiming and using units behind it. I'm not quite sure about this decision, but he has overextended his army, and because of that, he's going to lose all of his res bots now. At the same time, he is pumping units out at a fairly fast clip. He's actually overflowing metal now. And it's actually hella even. Randy's commander coming back towards the center to try and assist this reclaim field, but he may have overextended his commander by doing this. He's lost his main bulk of his army. He's desperately trying to reclaim everything with his conbot, and he is running with his commander now. Definitely has to try and get away from these Centurions and these thugs, plus the pounders on top of all of that. They are chasing down the commander. The commander is making a beeline for this LLT forest, and at the same time, Glados is slowly chipping away at these LLTs here, and Randy has been backed into a corner. Randy's not doing anything too crazy. He's just building medium tanks, Janus, and fighters on repeat. He's slowly running out of metal, but he is using the reclaim from the construction bot to supplement his army. At the same time, Glados is just pumping everything he can. It's just res bots, thugs, fighters, and pounders on repeat to try and snipe this commander. Looks like he's actually deciding against sniping the commander, and he's going to start heading around the sides of the map to clear out all these metal extractors. Clears up the transport ship here, and he's going to clear some of these mixers in the back. Does use fighters for scouting over top of the anti-air, and he's actually going to do a sandwich, a little pincer maneuver on Randy's commander. He's heading back towards where his army is. This army might just be enough to save Randy with all of these LLTs he's got, but it is going to be a close thing. He's kind of up a creek without a paddle right now. Backed himself into a corner, and not the corner that he wants to be in. Now, this is a great vanguard maneuver here, but at the same time, he's kind of surrounded on this side. Does go invisible to try and save himself as much as he can, but the pounders, there's just too many pounders out, the most OP unit in the game at the moment. I think Glados is going to take game one against Randy here. I don't see a whole lot that he can do to save himself. Does get some nice D-guns off on those pounders. Clears out the pounders on the right side. He might just get out of this, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe I spoke too soon. We got the single thug chasing that commander down relentlessly. Does get D-gunned. He's on 6% health now, right now, ladies and gentlemen. He is in range of the thugs. The pounder's from the side, and he goes down. Randy is taken to pound town by Glados. Holy shit. Glados just absolutely pumping everything out of his main base, out of that bot lab. Let's check the graph here. You can see Randy was ahead for most of the game. Behind on energy, apparently. Let's check the excess real quick. A little bit of excess from Glados when he was reclaiming after that battle in the middle when he lost all his res bots. That was a bit touch and go. But the thing I want to check is energy excess. There it is. Ooh, a lot of energy excess for Randy, up to 170,000 energy excess. All right, head back over here. Let me go ahead and, oops. Can't see my, there we go. All right, so that brings us to 1-0 for Glados. Did that update? Yes, it did. Okay, and now that means map number 2, ladies and gentlemen. Let me start the game up real quick, and then we'll swap the map over. We are indeed looking at crystallized plains. We've got 2 to 18 wind, no tidal, 4 geos, 1,400 in metal reclaim, and 28,000 energy reclaim. This is a bit of a weird one. It's is it P? Yeah. 99.9% of the time you'll see people spawn in this position here. Sometimes you'll see people spawn in this position here. But yeah, like I said, I think it's a 5.0 mix here, so it's a very strong, and I think these are like 2.4, I want to say. So yeah, it's just better to spawn in the normal position. There's a little bit of reclaim here, and I think like over here as well, something like this for your res bot. So you do often see res bot openers on this map. Sometimes you see people open as an air lab, but it is you have to get value with the bomber for that. Obviously your geos are over here. Why did the color just change? Your geos are over here and over here. Likewise for the opposite side of the map. You don't usually see the geos too early on this map. They're fairly hard to protect. The ones in your base, this one with the X on it, is a fair bit safer to protect, but it's the distance between metal extractors is few and far between, so it is a bit more of a, get lots of units out on the map to get map control type map. Alright, without further ado, that's enough yapping. Let's get to watching. Let's get to watching. Yeah, and you can see both players. Okay, so apparently you're supposed to watch the map like this. Apparently both players have elected to spawn on
We're in, baby.
the 5.0 mix. Yep. You see Glados is spawning as the Cortex commander. He's going to lock a couple of wins in here. And this is kind of why an air opener also can work if you're really good with it and your opponent kind of fumbles. Because you can imagine a single bomber coming in this direction can just clear so much stuff. If you have the bomber come from this direction, you have the chance to like mess it up because cliffs love to mess up bombing runs and stuff. And these are 2.3s, not 2.4s. So it is only actually 4.6 metal for the price of 2 metal extractors, which of course makes it that the 5.0 is just a much better position to start from. You see the radar on the high ground here does give a very, very safe opener as well. Good luck, have fun from Glados, and let's check in on his opponent. Randy spawned on the high ground, got the LLT, and has walked to the low ground. Okay, 2 complete different openers. And I do have to be honest here, this is not an opener that I'm actually super familiar with. I've thought about it and tinkered and hummed and hawed with this type of opener, and I just can't make it work. He's also going for vehicles, interestingly. It means he is kind of going to get locked out of this reclaim, which is 4.4k energy and 220 metal straight off the bat. Now, he's not completely locked out of the reclaim. He can use his constructors for that, but it's just going to be a lot harder for him. You can see that Glados has that res bot out already, and he's already working on it, opting to go forwards with his reclaim. He's got a second res bot going back this direction, so that is why he's decided to do that. Got a lot of wind up already. The wind is not treating him very nicely, so it probably would be pertinent for him to drop another solar at some point soon, but he is running out of metal. Alright, we got grunts coming out, and we have rascals coming across the map, so both players see each other right now. Obviously, Glados takes the first blood there. And Randy just gets a little bit of scouting information, which is basically, my opponent is pumping grunts. Which is kind of all the information he needs right now. Second important piece of information. What is wrong with my mouth? Is that Glados hasn't actually expanded to get these mixes yet. Usually you'd see a constructor here by now, or maybe a commander. But Glados is more than happy just to assist the lab and build these wins as he needs them. For now, he's just getting everything out that he can. You see, Randy saw those grunts coming across and he went for some fast incisors. He's got a single constructor out, heading straight towards the center of the map. His commander is just assisting the lab until he's out of metal. And then I assume he's going to build a constructor at any moment now and maybe expand with his commander, I'm not sure. But he is taking a nice trade here against Glados. Loses 1 incisor for the price of 2 grunts, which I think almost pays itself off. Not quite, need to kill 3, so there's the 3rd one that goes down, and now it's an even trade. You see, army value is heavily in favor of Randy, just a lot easier to get that army value out as vehicles compared to grunts. Got that scout unit still running around trying to spot these res bots. Obviously the grunt here is going to, oh my god, perfect dodge from Randy accidentally there. I think he saw that the constructor was expanding. I'm not quite sure. I think he saw the constructor expanding, but I might be wrong. He might have left just before the constructor got there. Meanwhile, Glados doing the same thing. He's going to be heading this direction to try and spot expanding cons. He does have a grunt over here to try and spot expanding cons. And I don't think he knows about the middle one yet. He does know about the middle one somehow. I don't think he does. Yeah, I was about to say, that was a bug. He doesn't know about this expansion here. He is about to lose this grunt. He sees the commander and sees this expansion here, so he knows that Randy's at least expanded this way. He's going to sacrifice his grunts and doesn't quite get the metal extractor there. So all in all, very good trades so far for Randy. You see the army value is heavily in favor of Randy right now. But at the same time, Glados is expanding 3 directions. Randy is expanding merely 1. And he's actually finished expanding, so I'm not sure where he's going next. Looks like he's going to build a radar, maybe? Yep, he is going to build the radar here, which gives him a very nice view of the map. That's going to be really nice for him. Unluckily for him, oh, I was about to say he is a little bit out of position, but he does get back into position quickly. Spotting these grunts on his original radar, building his radar on the low ground, not on the high ground. Does give him that extra range to spot those grunts in time. Clears up the grunts in his base if you didn't see. Randy's sitting here on 4 solars. It does have a fair amount of metal in the bank, so he doesn't really need his commander expanding right now. Glados is all over the map, but Randy is more than happy to let Glados come to him and take unfavorable trades. So every trade that Randy takes that's favorable for him does make up for the no expansion. And you can see that Randy's actually produced more metal, and that's probably due to him excuse me, expanding to these 3 mixes instantly. So he is sitting on 5 mixes and Glados is sitting on 7. So he's only 2 mixes ahead. Even though it seems like Glados is a lot more ahead because he's got 3 expanding cons, he started with 2 less mixes, essentially. His constructor might go down to this scout. Yeah, and Randy's just taking some really nice trades here. Yeah, that army value, almost 200% army value in favor of Randy. Really making vehicles work on this map. Glados going into thugs. I'm not sure. On a map where your opponent has vehicles and it is fairly open, I don't know if thugs is the way to go. It's just going to take so long to get a ball of thugs from your base over to protect the side or the other side, you know. Even to protect the middle, the distance to walk here is like, what, 20 seconds? 15? What are we at? 6:30, and this guy's just come out, so we'll check back when he actually makes it to the middle. It might actually even be longer than 15 seconds. Exploiter goes down before the con can finish, and the con goes down as well. Glados completely out of metal here. Getting converters up. He's expanding. He's lost the expansion this way. And now Randy's expanding 2 directions and over here at the same time. Does lose this con potentially to this grunt. He's going to try and reclaim him, but there's no way he's going to be able to reclaim him before he goes down. There's another grunt over here that could actually pick up this constructor, but not quite paying attention for Glados. Now, the thugs are coming out with res bots, and I'm kind of interested to see how much value these thugs get, because Randy could just employ the very top secret technique of the go-around method. Now, it does sound kind of hard to grasp how to do the go-around method, and hopefully he does it for you so we can provide you some information live as he does it. But maybe he's going to do the smash your forehead into it technique. No, he does decide against that, and he is using the go-around method. Now you can see that his units, instead of coming into a semi-unfavorable trade, he is going to go around. Now, you may be asking yourself, what do those words mean? Please explain it to me like I'm 5. Well, he is gonna simply go around. And I don't know how much more simple I could put that for you. He is actually gonna bring these units back across to distract this army, maybe? Oh, he's not actually gonna go around. He's gonna do a pincer movement. He's gone for the old trick go around into the pincer transition. I love it. And he's gonna get the surround on these units. Semi-surround, I guess. And he's just going to overwhelm. He is going to do smash your forehead into it. Nice. Yo, Ubivada, what's up? And yeah, this push is just going to be devastating. These res bots are not going to be enough unless Randy just gives up this reclaim field for no reason. No, yeah, I think that's GG. I don't think he can come back from this. He loses the reclaim field. He is building a wall over here to stop any grunts going and using the go-around method on the incisors. But yeah, Glados pushed all the way back to his base. Now the thugs don't have the movement speed to control the reclaim field and defend the side lanes as well. So even though there is a juicy 1.6k metal lane on the ground in front of Glados' base, he's not going to be able to utilize that. Everything is absolutely cool with me. Had a bit of a rough day, but here I am casting some games. So life is good. Life is good. We are currently sitting on 1-0 this matchup between Glados and Randy. 1 to Glados, 0 to Randy for now. So it is a heating up tournament. And that is definitely game over. His entire infrastructure is gone. Glados is going for the comm snipe, the Hail Mary comm snipe. But the commander is back at base, surrounded by units. 74% army value for Randy, and not a lab in sight for Glados. It was a good attempt, but sadly Randy games him. I kind of like Randy's opener. I'm going to come back and check that opener and have a look to see if it's like worthy, because I'm not a bot player. I hate playing bots. And on a map like this, I'm always kind of forced into playing bots, so it would be nice to actually have a vehicle open that works. And I assume with Blitz it's even stronger than doing it with incisors. I'd say the scouting information at the start is probably the best thing you can do. Alright, so Glados has 10 thugs and what, 5? 5 res bots. 10 thugs, 5 res bots, and a dream. Is Randy going to come out like a man? Glados is on the street outside of his house. Randy! Randy! Come out and fight me like a man! Come out and go toe to toe with me! Mano a mano! Oh, I see you send your boys! Glados has walked straight into Randy's trap. He's got no energy for the D-gun. And our hero goes down, taking Randy's minions with him. GG.
Congratulations. Or condolences. Whatever one applies.
GG. Fairly even. Fucking... Man. Randy just had so much more army value, like... Less units produced, but it was more... What about metal stored? Nah, like, yeah. I guess GLaDOS maybe overbuilt a little bit too much energy because he had the res bots going as well. Interesting. Anyway, GG, that's 1 apiece. Let's bring you guys back across so you can see. Now we go on to the final match, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. The final match is going to be on... I actually don't know, so let me have a look. Oh my god. One of my favorite maps to watch. One of my favorite maps to play on. I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's not that it's a great map, it's just that it feels like home. That's right, it's Canis River. Now, I need not explain too much for you guys here. I just have one hope, one dream for this final match between these two titans. It's that Randy does his Banshee opener. Fuck, I hope that happens. No metal reclaim, 11,000 energy reclaim. Need I say more? Let's get straight into the game. As soon as I find my mouse. I really hope that Randy goes for his air opener. It's such a cool tactic. And if he doesn't do it this game, I'm just going to hold out hope that he's not doing it because he's saving it for like the round of 8 or something. Let's get into it.
Freedom is earned, not just bestowed. So let's earn it.
Okay, it looks like Randy's probably not doing his air opener. He normally spawns here if he does. So, he is Armada though. He is Armada. There is still hope, ladies and gentlemen. Spawning in the safe position, so it's either vehicles or the air opener. We'll come back and check on him in a second. And his opponent GLaDOS is going Cortex in the safe position. Vehicle opener, of course. Starting out with some solars from GLaDOS. Double solar. I mean, the wind is dropping. He's playing it safe. BPL game 3. He is playing it safe here. Okay, double scouts, double cons. Okay, okay. Randy's building a lot of energy. He was hoping for that wind to come back, and he's going for a vehicle open. When that wind comes back up, he is good to go, and it looks like that wind is coming back up. If anything, he's actually overbuilt energy, but he's probably just glad that the wind isn't trolling him anymore. Kind of. Yeah, he's fine. He doesn't even need to build this next wind turbine, maybe. 2 scouts into 2 cons. He is slightly behind, but GLaDOS is going to have to build more energy production. Whereas Randy kind of has it already. Surprised he didn't boost out this con before building this wind turbine. But it looks like he's just going to boost both his cons out. Okay, first con comes out, builds these mixes, goes to the low ground. Scouts cross each other's paths. I think, well, Randy at least saw. I think GLaDOS saw as well. So they both know what each other are going. They're both going vehicles, 1 core, 1 arm. GLaDOS comes out, gets the mix down here, builds an LLT in the safe spot. And then goes to the low ground. Randy defends against the first scout. GLaDOS got a little bit of vision. Second scout gets full vision. Randy not really in a position to defend it anymore. Ooh, that was close. GLaDOS thinks better of it. He does shoot the solar, and that actually stills Randy enough. That's actually real funny. That the wind was absolutely trolling. And now Randy lost that really important energy. Looks like the scout here was cleaned up. Did kill the metal extractor while I wasn't looking though, so really nice pick up there for Randy. Second scout here did kill the metal extractor blueprint and turns off 2 solars. Luckily for GLaDOS, the wind is looking pretty good. He's actually already reclaiming. Maybe he can... Oh, GLaDOS was reclaiming the solar and Randy got the last hit. I don't know if that was luck or skill, but that was beautiful to watch. Poor GLaDOS just missed out on... What did he just miss? It was like 60 metal? Yeah, he missed out on 60 metal from that. That is amazing. And the scout does eventually get cleaned up there. Holy shit. Alright, Randy getting an LLT in base. Interesting. Interesting. Maybe he's expecting more scouts than there actually are. He does spot these 2 scouts as he flies past. Okay, he's coming in with 9 scouts from 2 different directions. 3 sets of 3. I like it. He's not going to get through here. And he knows that. He's not going to get through here. I don't think he can get up there, yeah, and he knows that. But he is going to get through here. Oh, he pulls Glados out of the way. Glados too slow to react. And he actually gets past. That was beautiful. Drew the army out of position and then slipped in with the rovers. Nice splits as well. Does clear these 2 mexes with 2 rovers and gets the 3rd one in the back. He is going to kill this solar unless Glados does something about it. He's actually not going to go for the solar. He's going to go for the metal extractor, and he might actually get the metal extractor before the incisor can get around to shoot him. Oh, and he does get it. Doesn't quite get the solar though. And the scouts are going to go down, but very nice raiding from Randy so far. Really nice micro. His base is purely defended right now. He's got double cons expanding this direction. His commander's still chilling in base. He's probably going to reclaim a solar if the wind goes above 10, I'd assume. That's probably what I'd do. Reclaim solar, drop an east tor if the wind's, yeah, like high like it is. But it looks like he's busy microing. He's going to clear up another metal extractor. At least 1 more. He might get 2. Oh, he got 2 metal extractors. Well worth it. He's even going for a 3rd. No way. Okay, I was going to say. He does actually slip. Oh, he almost slipped through another scout. But yeah, he's doing a really good job of keeping all of Glados' army at his base. And Glados is really struggling to expand here. I can't even remember how many total metal extractors he's lost. He lost a blueprint here. He lost both of these, so we'll call that 3. And then he lost both of these, so that's 5 at least. Oh, and he lost this one, so he lost 6 metal extractors and a solar. Almost lost this solar too. So yeah, even though those metal extractors get rebuilt very quickly, it does add up. You can see that Randy's actually ahead by 600 metal so far, and he's having a much better time expanding than Glados is right now. Glados is just a little bit too scared to move out, and at the same time he should be, because there is a contingent of Blitz coming across the map ready to do what Blitz do. Put Glados' APM in a blender. Chasing Blitz around is one of the nightmare scenarios of Beyond All Reason. But luckily for him, it looks like Randy's just going to go directly into all his incisors. Takes a semi-unfavorable trade there. And when I say semi, I mean pretty unfavorable. Single scout unit trying to slip in the back for Randy, but is going to get cleared up by an incisor. Blitz going to be going around the right-hand side here, but probably won't be able to break through here. They can break through, but they won't give very much value. So Randy decides to head back to base, interestingly enough. He does see basically the entire army of Glados. He knows exactly how much army value he has. So it is roughly what Randy has. You can see he's adding on more army now. And I'm surprised that Randy's not expanding any of these directions here. He is playing fairly safe, dare I say. It is 1 apiece, so winner takes all. So he's probably playing about as safe as he's willing to play. Just to secure the victory. It might mean that he's willing to drag this game out to a T2. Or at least a double T1 lab. So we're going to be looking at least a 15-minute game, but we shall see. Glados coming in with 4 incisors and a scout unit here. Does give his scout unit up unnecessarily. Another scout unit over here, just trying to figure out what's going on. More incisors coming this way, but at the same time, 10 Blitz going to slip by. Some sort of superhuman sense that Randy has. Maybe he's borrowing C3PO's sense and noticing just when these units move out of position, and as they come into radar range, it means that Glados has nothing to really defend these. They've only just come into radar. Wait, oh, the radar's on the low ground. There is no radar that can spot them. So they are going to get all the way into the base. I think this raid here is going to be easy enough to clean up. Randy sees it from a mile away. This raid here is kind of scary, but at the same time, the Blitz in the base, the commander is invisible. He's going to get some D-guns off. Does he get them good enough? He does clear pretty much all of them. 4 managed to slip by, and 4 is enough to actually clear all of this energy. There is absolutely nothing here to defend this. First incisor comes out now, but he has no energy production, and I might be eating my words. I said this is going to be a 15-minute game at least, but it doesn't look like it anymore. Okay, now it's all or nothing. He's coming in with incisors of his own, but there's double LLTs in the base and an army out the front here, so if anything, this is just going to be a metal donation. He might clear up some mixes, but I think it's going to be all over Red Rover. A single incisor in the back is going to get cleaned up by a Blitz eventually. These incisors here might clear up a couple mixes. So far he's only killed 1 metal extractor, and there is a whopping 1.1k metal just chilling on the ground. Okay, they do clear up this LLT and all these metal extractors, which is probably best case scenario for Glados after that trade. But, I mean, there's still a single blitz in the back line here. Glados is desperately trying to rebuild his energy production. He's building an A-Solar while he's stalling energy. No! Oh, my boy, just a normal solar, brother. Oh, he's fucked. He's got nothing. Yeah, and now Randy can come back from this raid a lot easier than Glados can. Oh my god, maybe if he had a properly placed radar somewhere, it might have been different. If you place this here... Oops, sorry, hold on. If you place this here, does it give you vision? Wait, where can you place it again? Yeah. No, it doesn't. Why would I think it does? Anyway, yeah, that's rough. That's rough. I mean, it's going to be a very uphill battle for Glados here. He has switched into normal solars. His commander's dropping solars. His conbot's dropping solars. The con turret's helping with the solars. He's just stalling on energy, trying to get this A-Solar out, and it is rough, bro. It is a rough day in Glados town. And now Randy's just big chilling. He's got a little bit of metal in the bank. He's rebuilding his mixers. He's reclaiming all this metal. Surprised it's not an air transition or anything, but I guess medium tanks. He knows his opponent doesn't really have a whole lot. I just feel like a Banshee transition right now would be chef's kiss. Because, well, I guess he doesn't have energy, so I take it back. But yeah, Banshee's about to clear a lot of these mixers with pretty much nothing to stop them. But it looks like Randy's just going to go overwhelming force. Army value's at almost 200% now. Metal produced, we're looking at 3k ahead. He's got a couple of AFK cons. Oh, they're building a beamer, so not AFK. Maybe he's going to go for a geo in a second. Still hasn't expanded to like most of the map, interestingly. Yeah, Glados does have a big amount of expansion here, but he doesn't really have a lot. Oh, AFK scout for Randy does go down. He's got a lot of expansion, but he just doesn't have a lot of army value or build power or energy. He is getting his energy back. He's got a lot of metal and solars right now. He's got one A-Solar up. He's going to drop another A-Solar, which I think is insane. As soon as this con turret builds, if he builds an A-Solar and these con turrets jump on it, he's going to be stalling energy again. And that is not where you want to be right now. Alright, big push from Randy. This army more than enough to clear all these mixers. No problems at all. Okay, Homeboy's got energy. He drops the A-Solar. Let's see how much energy this takes. He's fine. He's fine. He's fine. Wind is on quite high, and he's slowly building wind at the back here. Meanwhile, though, Randy is just clearing everything over here. Glados is down, but not quite out. He is struggling to get the value that he needs with any of these raids. He actually spots a Twilight. I don't know if he fully spotted that Twilight, but double Twilight here is quite an interesting choice, with LLTs behind it, which is really, really nice, actually. When the units come in and get hit by the Twilights, you got the LLTs here to just clear stuff up. And yeah, Randy's little cleanup crew comes through and clears out these incisors. Double scout plane for Randy. Spots the opponent's base in a shambles. He kind of has the energy to air transition, but boy, it's gonna really be hard for him with an army value diff this high. Transitioning to air is really gonna fuck it for him. Randy just getting some fighters out now. Forcing the air transition out of his opponent is really nice. It is a like 700 metal investment. 630 metal investment, plus the fighters, plus the scouts, plus any AA that he builds. So very hefty investment for Glados there into air, and that's going to put him even further behind on army value. Hell yeah. And I think we're safe to say that Randy's probably going to be taking the win here. AA going up over the Geo in case of some sort of bombing run. Randy chilling with 11 solars in his base that he probably doesn't need anymore. And this is looking pretty open and shut. Randy even has vision of Glados' base. He sees what's coming out of the lab, knows that it's Pounder and Brute, sorry. There's the GG. Glados calls it. Very good try, Glados. 2-1 to Randy. That was a good attempt, I gotta say. That was a beautiful attempt.
Congratulations. Or condolences. Whatever one applies.
I got out-rovered. Yeah, he definitely got out-rovered at the start. Yeah, you can see Randy just chipping away at him and then taking the lead. Hell yeah. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's go back to our little screen we got here. And that gives us a 2-1 for Randy. Congratulations.